Good afternoon, class. So today is Friday, September 17th. This is AP CSP. We're going to be working in Unit 1, Lesson 10. We will have our warm-up in the presentation, and we are going to be looking at lossy compression today. We just did lossless compression, where we are not losing anything. You're sending your message and a library, your shortened message and a library to uncompress it. This time we're going to be doing lossy. Your assignment is going to be test unit 1, and that's going to be due on the 24th to study for that. Our goal is that students will be able to compare data compression algorithms to determine which is best in a particular context. All righty. So Unit 10, Lesson 10, lossy compression. You can just watch the presentation pretty much. You don't necessarily need to go into code.org, I don't think. Do we have a widget? We'll see. There is a widget. So yes, we are going to go into code.org, and it's going to be Unit 1, Lesson 10, okay? So our prompt is, how is this widget similar to the widget we used yesterday? How is it different? What exactly is this widget doing? Ooh, let's take a look. So look, the one on top is much larger. The bottom one is compressed a little more than 20%, but the way they do it is this idea that if you keep the first letter of every word, then remove all the vowels, that you can still read it. And I gotta say, it actually works. Take a look. How is this similar to the widget we used yesterday? It is compressing the text, but it's not using an index. It's not using that legend where you're subbing things. It has a different technique. All right, so we are going to navigate to Code Studio, Lesson 10, and go to Level 1, Circle 1, okay? This is the lossy compression widget. This is version 1, Level 1. So with a partner, for about 4 minutes, you're going to play with this widget. What do you notice about the quality of the image when you compress it? What do you notice about the compressed file size? Please, we're going to stop the video. You're going to play with this for about 4 minutes and come back with your answers. Okay, what did you find in there? What was happening when you slid the slider? What happens to the image? What happens to the file size? All right, this is going to be the second lossy compression section. You're looking at version 2. This is level 2 with your partner. You're going to get to spend about 10 minutes with this. You're going to move the slider to create lossy compression of the image above, or you can get a new image to work with. If you click that new image one, you can put whatever image you like in there. So this is saying sample size 7, the original, and what it is compressed. The idea is, as you're compressing these, see if your neighbors can tell what the image is. I had someone with a sea turtle. I could not tell what that thing was. All right. So you're going to share out the compressions you have made with students nearby and try to guess those images when you're done with the 10 minutes just playing with this. Okay. So see what this is all about. Okay, you can pause the video. 10 minutes may be too much, but familiarize yourself with these widgets. Okay, what did we learn? Have you guys shared out with your neighbors yet? Try sharing out some of the images that you made and see if other people can guess what they are. Where is that point where you can actually tell what it is? Like here, you can tell that's a giraffe. If you keep going, though, it's gone. So now we're going to ask a question about how much compression should we be using on an image, okay? So put on your thinking cap. we'll be doing, it will say to vote. You can either vote like using your hand, we can go around the classroom, or we can just do color, whatever the teacher would like. So we are trying to use this image for a particular purpose, and we need to decide how much lossy compression we want to use, okay? How should we send this? Scenario one, you are sending this as a text message to a friend, but you've almost run out of data on your phone plan. How are you going to send this? With no compression, the original file. 2 is a small amount of compression. 3 is a medium amount of compression. Or 4 is a large amount of compression. What do you guys think? We can pause for a moment. Okay, what are the votes? My choice is for sort of a medium amount of compression, that I want my friend to understand what this image is, that it's people, that it's not out of Minecraft, but I still have to mind the fact that my data plan is about to run out. So I've got to use a very small image. Okay, scenario 2, you are a crime scene photographer and this image is part of a crime scene photo. No compression, small amount of compression, medium amount of compression, large amount of compression. 1 through 4. No compression is 1, 4 is a large. What would you do? Stop the video. What did you choose? Technically, 1, no compression is probably the best in this scenario. There is never a hard and fast rule, but for a crime scene photo, you want to see all the details you can. You are trying to create a historic record of this crime scene. So no compression is exactly what you want. Okay, let's go to the next. Oh, sorry. So this image is part of a satellite imaging assignment for the military, being used for intelligence gathering. Do we make it with no compression, small amount of compression, medium amount of compression, large amount of compression? 1 through 4. What's your vote? Do we do it by hand? Raise your hand if you like 1. Raise your hand if you like 2. Raise your hand if you like 3. Raise your hand if you like 4. Choose, explain why you want a small amount of compression. I would choose no compression. I would be a 1. That's because, again, this is like a crime scene photo. This is satellite imaging for military assessment. I want all the information. I want as sharp a photo as I can get. It doesn't matter that it takes a lot of storage. 4, you're a social media manager posting this to an Instagram story for an event happening right now. Which way would you go? Let's say it's a flash mob, right? Saying, get down here, come to the flash mob. What do you think? Is it no compression, small amount, medium, large amount? Let's hear your ideas. My feeling is I would probably go with a small amount or a medium amount. Typically, if I'm a social media manager, I have an unlimited data plan, so I don't really care about data, but I do need this to get out as quick as possible. So making it a little smaller in my mind with a small amount makes sense. It'll hopefully get it out a little quicker, but they're still going to see the image very clearly. I find that even the medium compression, it's hard to see what's going on there. It's a little woodgy, but with the small, I can really see it. Okay, scenario 5. This image will be part of a collage where 100 copies will be stitched together to make a larger image. So really, you're just using it as paint. What do you think? No compression, small amount, medium, large, you're making a collage. We can stop the video. Okay. What do you think for a collage? My feeling is, as an artist, if I'm making a collage out of this image, I want as many different ways to use it as possible. I would probably make 25 no, 25 small, 25 large, and 25 medium. And then I could use them as different textures and looks in my composition, since I only have this image to make my composition out of. Scenario 6, you're a professional photographer submitting to a design competition where your submission will be carefully judged for color and composition. I am hoping you all have this figured out by now. Please tell me that you selected number 1, no compression. If I am a professional photographer presenting my work in a competition, I want it to look as beautiful, as pristine, with the colors popping as possible. So I would put no compression on. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's wrap it up. When is it a good idea to use lossless compression? What types of things do we use lossless compression on? Typically, it is text. Text is where we are using lossless compression. When should we use lossy compression? Well, if we're only using lossless on text, we're probably using lossy compression on almost everything else. So photographs, music, any big files typically get lossy compression applied. You lose a piece of the file, but usually it is information that the human eye or ear can't detect, that it is wavelengths of light that are outside of our visual spectrum, or audio that's out of our auditory spectrum. Ideally, you are making your decision of what compression to use, based on the format. Are you sending text? Are you sending images? Then there are all sorts of factors that could apply. Am I running out of data? Do I want to, am I sending this to a competition as a submission, as a photographer? Am I just telling my friend I saw this crazy thing? It depends on what you need, how much resolution you want to give. Okay, lossy compression is a process for reducing the number of bits needed to represent something in which some information is lost or literally thrown away. This process is not reversible. I can never recreate the original given my cut down version. I have literally thrown that information away. Ideally, you only threw away information that the human eye doesn't see or whatever, but sometimes you are. Sometimes you're really squishing something and you're losing some of that visual information. You need a smaller file. That's why you do it. Okay, I think that is it for today. Have a great afternoon.